my words of encouragement to Canadians. Before we just sit back in the easy chair and complain, try to make a difference. However you choose to do that, try.
Drea Humphrey here with Rebel News, bringing you another report adding to our wrap up of the election coverage, which you can find at campaign2025.com. On election night, I was in the Abbotsford-South Langley riding for the watch party of a independent candidate. Now, this is a new riding, but it was a familiar face to the area. That's because the independent in this riding is Mike Jong, a former 30-year veteran. He was an MLA with the BC Liberals, BC United. He was the former Attorney General, and he was running as an independent, which was somewhat controversial, in case you don't know, because he started off with the bid for the Conservatives. He was asked to run with them. He seemed to have done a good job, according to him. He signed up over 2,000 new members for the party, and then all of a sudden, poof, was dropped. Many in his ridings expressed outrage about that, and it seemed in the polls that he had a fighting chance to say, hey, what do the people want? Now, his contender has secured his seat. That is Sukhman Gill with the Conservatives, a 25-year-old blueberry farmer, which is interesting because the reason the Conservatives gave, it wasn't much of it, to Mr. Jong was that he was underqualified or unqualified. So I'm going to speak with Mr. Jong about that. But first, let me show you a little bit about what he had to say during his speech when he conceded around the 50% vote mark. It was Sukhman Gill who, like I said, has taken the seat, and second place was the Liberal Kevin Gillies, and then Mr. Jong.
The evening didn't turn out the way we had hoped it would, and it is my duty, and I do so willingly, to say several things. First of all, to congratulate all of the candidates that stood for election in this constituency. I'll have more to say about that in a moment. To congratulate the party leaders, who, though we may have differing views about the policies they wish to advance and the basis upon which they wish to govern the country, take on a grueling, exhausting exercise in leading their parties in a campaign from sea to sea to sea. So let's not have a wake. Let's celebrate the fact that unique amongst all of the campaigns, and there are some 340 some odd constituencies, and each of them had campaigns, and only one campaign was successful. Virtually all of the unsuccessful campaigns will fall back on talking about what their party did or didn't do to advance their cause. We don't have to worry about that. We don't have to worry about that, because we can look around this room and around our community and know that what we achieved and the principles that we discussed and brought to the fore, we did on our own, and we did for the right reason, because we believe in this community, and we believe in our country, and we believe that good people can still make a difference when they apply themselves. And I will never, ever give up, ladies and gentlemen, on that belief that we are lucky to have this.
All right, you came in, you gave a cheerful speech considering. What words do you have for the people who weren't here but want to know how it went?
Well, a disappointing night, obviously, but politics is full of disappointment. It's not victories every time. We gave it a good run. We thought we'd do better. We thought we had a crack at this, and as it turns out, the brand, the Conservative brand, as we knew it would be, very strong in Abbotsford-South Langley.
Well, speaking about that, it seemed like you would be a good fit for the Conservatives. My understanding is you were asked to run, put in your bid, and you did very well, signed up a lot of new members. In your opinion, what went wrong?
Well, I know what happened. I can't tell you why it happened. Obviously, somewhere along the line, someone in the Conservative Party decided they had other ideas about who the candidate should be, and in effect chose to impose that candidate on the constituency against the wishes of the local constituency association. I mean, that part of the saga is pretty well known. I didn't think tonight was the night to relive it. A young man has been elected member of parliament. Tonight is the night for him to celebrate, and we'll lick our wounds and live for another day.
You're a veteran in politics. What's next for you?
Oh, possibly a trip with my wife to our place in France. I've been very lucky to have represented people here in the area for 35 years. 31 of them as a provincial MLA and cabinet minister. People, I think, have signaled that they would like someone else to take on those roles. It's not for me to argue with them.
Big shoes to fill. The former MP actually endorsed you, and now we have this young MP moving forward. It looks, as we stand, to possibly be a liberal minority government. Does that surprise you at all, or is that the way you were thinking it was going?
It doesn't. That part of my prediction came true. I thought we would be looking at a liberal minority. I obviously hoped to be in the parliament to hold that minority government to account. I won't be there. Someone else will be, and others will be there. And I hope they do so constructively, critically, but responsibly. And that is the duty that they now in the opposition, the official opposition, will have. And of course, whatever our politics, we need to hope that the government and Mr. Carney govern wisely because the stakes are very high for Canada.
Last words for Canadians who are a little bit nervous in this unsettling time for Canada.
Well, first of all, a word of thanks to those that voted, and a goodly number did. Many did not. And this is a time when Canadians need to come together and strengthen our democratic institutions. And for most of us, the way that we do that is to get out and vote and become involved in the political process, as all of these people did. And I'm very proud of them. And I guess my words of encouragement to Canadians, before we just sit back in the easy chair and complain, try to make a difference. However you choose to do that, try to make a difference.
Well, Mr. DeYoung says he's not going to push back on the vote. The people have spoken. I spoke to some of his volunteers here and some of the people who came out to support, and they expressed again that they are not very happy with how the locals wanted him to run and someone's new. But it looks like Mr. DeYoung is saying, well, let's put our best foot forward regardless. Drea Humphrey with Rebel News. At Rebel News, we really worked hard to bring you reports you could trust on this election. We had our boots on the ground, on the campaign trail, across the country. If you appreciate our efforts and want to help us recoup some of the costs involved to do that, please donate what you can at campaign2025.com.